Good morning. Good morning, gentlemen, ladies. World is awakening from its slumber. The world is awakening from its slumber. It's starting to see the reality of the situation. A country whose very foundation is built on a lie and genocide and slavery, colonialization. A country that believes that it has to contain the world, control it. This country has over 100 bases in 100 different lands. This country doesn't manufacture anything. It just prints money. It doesn't build anything. It just prints money. It has nothing it can sell except military hardware. Everything else is in trade, as in logistics, this type of trade. Not them trading value for value. It's them trading a service for something of value. More money that they print. I'm telling you on an economic level that this is unsustainable. It is a Ponzi scheme. It's just about there. It is a Ponzi scheme. Capitalism as we know it is dead. Democracy as we know it is dead. What you really have at this point is the corporations ruling everything by fiat. No one stopped them, so they just started doing it. And after they started doing it, no one stops them because everyone needs them. You need them for jobs. You need them for housing and to pay your rent and to pay your mortgage because you don't have a fucking money, have a money machine. They do. They just, when they started running low, guess what they do? They just go and print some more dollar bills, some 20s and 50s and 100s. Unearned income. But it is unsustainable. There will be a crash of some sort, particularly since the rest of the world sees the American ineptitude and its hegemony is starting to lose its reach. Hegemony basically means its ability to extend its power from home base, the United States, to other people's countries. And that way they can control labor. If they're always looking for new lands that they can control, like they're in Africa right now. Why? Things like cobalt, because they don't have none. And they don't see how the Africans have the absolute right to say, no, I don't want to sell it. We have a change of heart. We're going to build the batteries here in Africa. In fact, since we have the cobalt, it makes more sense for us to put the manufacturing of the batteries in Africa and employing tens of thousands of Africans from the mining of the cobalt all the way up to the finality of the battery. Oh, and you won't own any of it. You see? So we want you to leave. All we want is you to, oh, you're not going to tell us how to do it. Well, we will go talk to the Chinese. We will go and we'll speak to the Russians. They know how to build batteries too. They know how to train us. Maybe they'll have more sense. America is going to walk itself into a war. This whole idea of globalization and New World Order has turned out to be nothing more of the United States and the Western powers trying to contain and otherwise control the rest of the world using dollars and euros, francs, Deutschmarks. You see, that's their idea of a new world order. It's more of the old world order, except souped up. And they don't see how you're going to lose this. Has America thought to itself, you know that don't nobody wanna really fight for you. And don't nobody really want to even die for you. At this point, everybody and almost nobody that's in the military, except them old schools, is there because they are freaking patriotic. No, they were there because there was opportunity and there was none on these streets, and their ass was broke, and they had to make a choice. See, they had to make a choice. When you have an economic system that is built on free labor and genocide of the people who own this land, then that system has to keep itself sustained. It has to feed. America doesn't build anything. It doesn't manufacture anything. When was the last time any of you picked up anything that said made in the USA? Look at at stuff around you. Look at where it's made at. Ain't none of it made here. Ain't none of it made here. The system is unsustainable. If you don't build shit, then you die as a country. This is point blank. I mean, ain't no, new economic system that's going to defeat old school economic thinking, because old school economic thinking is based on fact. New school economic thinking is based on manipulation of the dollar. You see? That's why the Fed, whenever there's a problem, no matter what the problem is, the Fed always steps in and say, well, I'm going to mess with your money supply then. I'm going to raise the interest rates. I'm going to lower the interest rates. No, I'm going to raise them 3.537 points. Man, golly. Make it harder for you to take out a mortgage. And then that way, y'all, man, how these people think? How do they think? American hegemony is waning throughout the world. And as the world casts off its shackles, its collars, and its ankle chains, there will be upheaval. There will be war. There will be a fight over resources, because Europe and the United States is easily starvable. When you don't build anything, then you starve. When you don't grow anything, then you starve. If most of your shit is imported, then you are easily starved. Okay? Anyone in their right mind would understand that Ukraine does not have a shitballs chance in hell of man defeating Russia. This is not a war between Russia and Ukraine, as they keep showing us. This is a proxy war, basically. And I hate to say these things, but these are smart men. These are smart men. The things that I'm about to say, the geo politically would seem dangerous, but they've already thought of these things, and they've already have seen these things. This is more of a proxy war, and the attempted containment of another superpower. Now, this is when people go to La La Land. You can contain African countries. You can contain Jamaica. You can contain, Grenada. But you're not going to do it to a superpower that has nukes like you. What kind of faulty way of thinking is that? They have nuclear weapons that could take out this whole country with just a push of a button. What kind of faulty thinking is that? They're gonna bow down under the duress of, well, if you nuke us, we gonna nuke you back. Ain't that childlike in nature, man? That way of thinking? Because that's what it boils down to. If you nuke us for the shit that we are fucking with you about, then we gonna nuke you back. Oh man. So what if the Russians decided in the morning it's worth the sacrifice? What happens then? All of this rhetoric has turned deadly. All this propaganda has turned deadly. And meanwhile, the American government, all the forces that is in control of the United States, is willing to sacrifice our life. They gamble with our life. They're not going and fight anything. They're going to run their ass underneath the Capitol, underneath the ground, and man, wait on all that fire to hit everybody else. And they're going to still come out and be trying to rule what's left of us. No, no, baby. No, you don't get to get us killed. And then say, how many are, well, the 330 million would look like it's 112 million. Good. We can still run this campaign, round them up and tell them how we're going to help them. And, let's get the services started. How many of them is half burned up? How many is going to die from radiation exposure after the bang and the fire? Because it's going to keep killing for months and months and months after that. A nuclear bomb is a mother. So all of the half of the scragglers that got away will still die. They will die because they live in radiation. They will die. And they will continue dying for years. Not only that their genes are fucked up. And so when they have children or anyway, it's just a bad weapon. Nobody, Oppenheimer, my ass. Oppenheimer should be woke up from dragged out of hell, shot dead, buried, thrown back into hell, then dragged out of hell, shot dead, buried. We're going to do this here a few times. Because see, that's what Mr. Oppenheimer is. Mr. Oppenheimer is not in heaven, running his ass around. No, Mr. Oppenheimer is living in the middle, forever and ever, of a nuclear blast. His own weapon. But anyway, let's get serious. So, if NATO, which is basically Europe and America, that's NATO. When it has become basically, it's devoid of a needed strategy. Why can't I never understood this. Why can't the Western powers let other nations develop naturally without their input and control and trying to stop this and who's leading what? How can we jumble for resources? Why can't to the point that they're willing to kill how many people that they have to? So y'all have to understand, so slavery has not stopped. It has not stopped. Why do you think you have the masses impoverished, even though they work? I knew that they was powerful when they made the streets lame. That's when I understood the extent of their power. If you can fuck with the rest of the world and then fuck with the streets to the points that even a real gangster say, man, this shit lame. The streets is not the same. No, they ain't the same. But that's the extent of his power. America. So in their heads, they have to contain and they have to control wherever they can. They have to beat the Russians to the resources, beat the Chinese to the resources. Ain't nobody else really out there needing resources like that. I mean, Africa got all of the resources that the world need, and then this country has quasi-slavery, and everywhere that they put these American corporations, them people become slaves too. See, I thought that I was raised poor. Here's an example. I thought that I was raised poor because, but I didn't notice until somebody had called me poor. You can see, we grew our own food. We raised our own meat. The only time that we went shit, they made their own soap, even soap. Sometimes if they made their own clothes, they made their own ice cream. The only time that they went to the store was for fabric and sometimes school supplies and bleach. We didn't know nothing about no fucking poverty. We didn't know nothing about fucking hunger. Yet when I met the world reminded my ass that I was fucking poor. I'm like, what the fuck you talking about? Oh, you ain't got no greenbacks. But nigga, what I need greenbacks for when I already got everything? That God is just pushing it right out the ground, giving it to me. What the hell I need some greenbacks for? Think about it. Think about it. America thinks that it's gonna print money and get itself out of here. Out of it and sustain it. But here's one of the reasons they got rid of all of the manufacturing, because you have to employ people at a livable wage. Okay? They don't like it. They need a population that need them, that is willing to work and not be able to pay their bills at the same time. Okay? That is slavery. I don't care how you slice that pie. That is slavery. While the very corporations that's driving all of this, even the wars. Who wants war with Russia? Russia ain't nobody's enemy. Russia, man, listen, Russia done lost a good chunk of its territory, which turns out it made it even stronger in its own way. These ain't some republics that went to, man, anyway, it's a history to it. So I can tell you this, what's going to happen. The world is going to form a new economic alliance on the world stage. It won't be using dollar bills and it won't be using euros. That's going to help to cripple the United States. It's almost like an act of war. If you can get, think about it. If you can get half the world to start using another type of currency, then your fucking dollar bill is over. Okay? That dollar bill, listen, the dollar bill is worth about 35 cents after what it was in say, 1985. Okay? It's worth about 35 cents as it was vis-a-vis, goddamn it, relative to its value in 1985, 1989. Okay? So it's already junk. The more of it that they print, the less value it has. It already has no value. It's not based on any natural value like gold or platinum or diamonds or copper or nothing. Most currencies are based on something. Gold. The American dollar used to be based on the value of gold. Do you know how much the dollar would would be worth if it was valued, I mean, still based on gold? Do you have any idea? See, they've made dollar bills manipulable. Plus, they try to control who has them. They try very hard. The reason that they got rid of the corporations, I mean, the manufacturing here, is because people who didn't have a degree was outperforming those who took out student loans and got a degree because they working with their hands. I mean, they blowing them out the water. A nigga who know how to work with his hands like I'm a carpenter. I'm a carpenter. At this point, at the end of my career, I can demand whatever salary I fucking want, which I don't even do salaries. I give your ass a quote. And for me to even to come out there, that's $75. Okay? It's different when you have a skill. And I've been in the carpentry for 30 years or more. So I done went from helper up to apprentice, up to journeyman, up to master. The only place left for me to go in my career is craftsman, which I don't like. Anywhere else for me to go, I'm at the top of my shit. People will, hell, I've been told that I'm overqualified on more than one occasion. And I'm like, who the fuck is you to tell me? Nigga, I need this goddamn job, man. I'm overqualified. So that's going to be your reasoning. But anyway, they will never contain Russia. And they're going to keep up with their 1995 style view or their perspective of looking at the rest of the world is straight up out of 1995. They are stuck. The whole geopolitical stage has changed, and they still going on with a plan as if it hasn't changed. You know, it's like looking at the futility of Ukraine. Ukraine is man. I hate to man. Listen, I keep saying that the more weapons that you give Ukraine, the more Ukrainians will die. Okay, if you quit giving them weapons, then they ought to go sit their ass down at the table and say, Mr. Russian, what's the deal? And Mr. Russian will say, Mr. Ukrainian, what's the deal? Are we done shooting at each other? Because I got more bullets. Mr. Ukraine will say, well, bitch ass nigga, I got more bullets too, American style. Well, then how many more of you want to die? And Mr. Ukraine will say, oh, we done with that dying shit. The rest of them bullets is for the next time we fight. We'll see you in about 20, 25, or 35 years. But for now, we need some peace because you done bombed up all our shit, our bridges, our highways, our airports, the apartment buildings. God damn. You even trying to bomb the basements. Who tries to bomb the basements? No, well, ain't no more safety. You listen. How many soldiers do you think the Ukrainians have to sacrifice? How many? And then they be playing this here for when old technology meets World War II style fighting. I mean, when new technology meets World War II style fighting. Trench warfare, taking ground, rank and file soldiers. I would have never thought that I would see it again. But there it is. So these other people are fighting inch for inch, yard for yard, foot for foot to take ground. See, the whole thing is, here's my point. Russia is uncontainable. At the best, America can do with this strategy is hope to drain Russia of its resources. And in terms of its it's human resources and how many bullets do they have and how fast are they going to spend them and how fast they can build them and how much it's going to cost them. Okay? Now, Ukraine has already struck on Russian soil. But in war, everything is fair. But see, here's the difference. Leadership is everything. Wait a minute, I'm going to get back to leadership. Look at the sanctions. America has this idea that it's going to sanction everybody, everywhere, at any given time. If you don't do what I want you to do, then I'm going to do something to you. You don't have to hit them first. And they do the same thing within the boundaries of the United States with its own citizens. Whatever you are witnessing on the world stage, trust me, brought to you by the CIA, they will bring to their own citizens. This is why I don't call you citizens. I got lots of reasons for not calling you citizens. They won't even be able to destabilize Russia. Okay? So they're wasting money. All they're doing is getting Ukrainians killed. Now, the Ukrainians apparently has run out of bullets and bombs because we keep having to buy them some more bullets and bombs. At this rate, I think it's 81 billion. And they accidentally gave them 3 extra billion. This shit's crazy. It's unsustainable. And they keep just printing the money, printing the money, printing the money, printing the money. It's no other different basically to that man monopoly money. We would look at each other stupid if we took green and yellow and purple bills and shit. But the only value that the money has is that you want some of it. Everybody wants some, and that's what it gives us. Its value. That is the only value it has. Is that we want some of it, and they want some of it. Food Town wants some. Sonny wants some. Shit. Ross wants some. The bank wants some. The dope man wants some. See, everybody wants some. Everybody needs some. That's its only value. It's out of here. And once it falls, it will not recover. It will not recover. They are propping it up now. So they go around the world and they sanction everybody. People have to tie the two together. Why the hell is America trying to push social agendas, and I'm being kind, upon black countries like the whole of Africa, Jamaica? The only place that they want to try that bullshit at is Haiti, because them niggas crazy. They already know. It ain't nothing in Haiti but some smoke. Don't even try it. So why are they doing this here? Because they want to weaken that country's population in terms of the old social order. The natural social order being man, woman, and child. See, you have to understand something. A family is like a little government. It is self-sufficient. It's self-sustaining. Man, woman, child are little governments. Now, if you scatter little governments throughout the country, like it used to be, calling it family, then you're gonna have a problem with those who stepped outside of this ideology and started having babies on the outside of the old school thinking. Okay? If you fast forward a generation or two from the 40s, you will start to see the first appearance of these people, okay, who came from other than natural families. So the natural families are at war with those that are not from natural families. And the government prefers those who are not from natural families. You understand? Because families are little governmental units and they can function as such. See? So what do? Go after the family. First it was a black family, and now it's everybody's a family. Ain't no daddies and everything. Well, everything is a daddy and everything is a mama. It's real simple. Make it up as you go. You see? But they're trying to push this agenda throughout the world. Well, no, they ain't. They won't do this here nowhere in the Middle East. Why? They already know what it is. They already know what it is. They gonna call on Allah to get these demons to fuck up out their land, talking this stupid ass shit, and wearing these strange ass colors, and they want to come into the country where they partner. No, we make war. Shit, they gonna come to that conclusion pretty motherfucking fast, and so they don't try it here. They don't try it in fucking China. They don't try it in say Saudi Arabia. No, only the Western oriented countries like Latin America and Africa. They want everybody gay. So, since when did one's personal sexual orientation become governmental business? When did a social issue become a governmental affair? You see, the government is there to pick up the trash, bring me my fucking mail, and to keep the police out there to where we don't shoot and maim each other beyond control. Outside of that, they are outside of its scope of duties. Protect the country and its airspace. We don't want you for anything else. Yet where they are right now, look at where they're at. Social issues. While they busy over here trying to make everybody whatever they want them to be, because in the future, they don't want their fucking children to stand up and say enough. But here's where they made a fucking mistake. Messing with Russia. Because see, Russia all over there in Africa. And the Africans are saying openly to, Russians and some more white folks, listen, they got an idea about continued slavery and colonialism that they just won't let go. They got ideas about new world orders. Have you seen their idea of the new order? Wow. And the Africans as a continent, we really don't want shit to do with this. So, Mr. Vladimir, you are our most powerful friend. You're going to have to lead this charge. So now they have empowered Vladimir Putin, and that I consider a honorable man, quite honestly. See, there's two types of men in this world. There's those who come from poverty and those who don't. You understand? The one who comes from poverty will always be twice as strong as the one who don't. The one who has never known a hungry belly, well, he will do everything possible to not know it. The man who has known a hungry belly, well, it seems to, act as a constant reminder of his duties to survive. You see what I'm saying? It's a whole different thing. So don't think that I don't know my friends and my enemies. I can tell you everything about Mr. Putin. I can tell you that Mr. Putin was impoverished. See? I can tell you that Mr. Putin was a type of lad that you would find with no shoes, overalls, and no shirt, walking his ass around. Why? Because he broke and impoverished. You see what I'm saying? So a man like a boy like that who can end up in the KGB and then rise up through the ranks of the KGB, which is the Russian spy agency, and then wind up at the top of the leader. Yeah, that's a man that I would like to I would like to consider. That's just how it is. Now, if you contrast that with these suits over here, all of them come from privilege. Even the black ones that's in power come from middle class families. Ain't no nigga rose up from the streets and became senator or fucking congressman or mayor. No, these niggas here come from six-figure salaries. $100,000, $106,000 a year, $98,000 a year. They have nothing, they have no reference point to understand a man like Vladimir Putin or anybody else who has come from the other side of the fucking tracks. They went from full fucking bellies to fully employed to full mortgages to brand new suits and shoes. You understand what I'm saying? They know nothing of the struggle, nothing. So they have no way of actually understanding. But I'm off the beaten path. We're going to keep it on world affairs. So while they busy trying to, think about this. If you don't let me turn your properly, use the program and make your men emasculated and pass laws to allow this and then disallow that, then I will sanction you. I want this so bad for you that I will mess with your food. I will mess with your friends. I will mess with your water. I mean, that don't sound slightly off fucking kilter? This is why I say we sit here and we think that everything is fucking innocuous and innocent. It ain't. It's an agenda. Agendas are pushed. But when you have an agenda and you won't be straight up about it, then that changes everything. First, you have to see it, and then you have to call it out for what it is. You have to. I would love to, man. Listen, again, it's a lot to say, but I want to stay on world affairs. But it's all fucking connected. So America seeks to contain everybody. It ain't just America. It's all of Europe. If Africa had nuclear weapons right now, they could starve Europe into submission. I'm telling you, everything that Europe gets is from Africa. They food, all of their fucking produce, they fish. Don't shit to grow in Europe. I've been there. They grow truffles and mushrooms. Shit. Which are very expensive. But that's all they do. So when you have us live on a landmass that don't like to grow stuff, because the winters there are long and cold. Long and cold. Yeah, but you have no idea. Then you have to create markets that you have to rely on and trade for printed money for the shit that got real value. Now, keep this in mind. The paper money got no value. They get to give me paper money and I give them something for their bellies that got value, or some gold, or some diamonds, or some platinum, or some cobalt. Man, god damn, you gangster. And the only way I can make this go is to force the whole world to use my dollar bills. Nigga, you gangster all the way. Nigga, that's straight gangster. And if you don't, I might have threatened your ass with the Marines or some shit. You do better watch how you talk to me. Now, what you need to be doing is taking this money. quietly. So I call in the fucking Marines. That's how, but basically, that they done from the beginning. Once slavery ended, the system was built on slavery, so it still needed cheap labor. It's built into it. It must have it. It has to have it. Why do you think America always has a working class, has an exploitable group of people? You have to have a group of people here that have to do it. Nobody wakes up in the morning and say, I'm going to go to work for an unlivable wage. I'm going to go and work at the job where I can pay all my bills. And what you see what I'm saying? So now it seeks to spread this germ, this cancer throughout the world, but now it's been bumped into a bear with nukes. It's it's bumped into a bear. See, I just like watching this stuff. I hope America don't say, oh, he's a Russian agent. He's a Russian bot. He's a Russian spy. He's a Russian sympathizer. Maybe we should drone strike his ass going down the freeway. Fuck the people around him. Pull the trigger. I I better be careful with my mouth, huh? They are capable. Now, whether they have the will or feel the need, that's another thing. But they have the capability. That we know. That we know. Because we've seen them use it. So we know they got it. That guy was not lucky. But think about that. It's a scheme. And so once slavery ended, since the system is built upon it, it has to have it. Okay? They didn't remake the system. They they reorganized it. They didn't even, man, do this. They just switched the chairs around, moved the gears from, okay, then we're going to put the bigger gear on in this car and the smaller gear over here. And what's this thing over here? Well, we're going to move it somewhere. We're going to rebuild a case. We ain't going to make it all the way square. We're going to cut off the edges to make it oval. And we're going to put some new glass in it. Oh, God damn. Why don't you just say out loud that we need slaves? We need cheap labor. So they going around the world doing this shit not for the benefit of the American people, but for the benefit of the corporations. Who are the corporations? The rich people. Who are the rich people? They are the corporations. Okay? And they use everybody else like little slaves at the bottom of the engine. You are the pistons. You that little dirty bastard. You get dipped in the oil and pulled out over and over and over. You're always wet and you're always hot and you're always ready to go. That's your job. And you know nothing else but to be like a fucking piston. It's 7 other ones. All of them wake up at exactly the fucking same time that I turn that goddamn key. 8 of them fuckers wake up and start moving up and down in unison, in some kind of sequence. Well, that's what this shit is. You are the pistons. You are the pistons. They make sure that you got just enough goddamn oil to not give out. If a piston you give out, generally speaking, if a piston goes, you ain't but 2 hooks and a fucking crook from throwing a rod. You might want to deal with that before you have rod problems. It's a serious problem. You are gonna want to be dealing with that, and yes, it's gonna cost. But to just keep driving that fucker around, you asking for it. It's one of those situations where you either fix that problem or you're going to have to, at some future point, buy a whole new engine. It's not going to get better. It's going to get worse, far worse. So think about that. So America is all over in Africa, in Somalia, and they always starting with the same shit. We're going to send some trainers. Well, you know what? That every time they send trainers, they end up in a fucking war, right? Okay? First they send the weapons, and then they have to go and train the people how to use the weapons to the Western standard of proficiency. So now it'll start out with 150 Marines. Next thing you know, one of them end up shot or killed or wound up in that goddamn skirmish, and there's casualties. This how this nation found itself at war in Vietnam. It went there as a mediator between the French and the Vietnamese. The French got the fuck up out of there as soon as they seen the opening. They was tired of fighting them short ass men running their ass around in the jungle. It was a new type of warfare. It was guerrilla style. They wasn't ready for that shit. So France got the hell up out of there. And then here, America that went there to mediate for some peace ended up fighting the Vietnamese. I'm like, what? Man, what the hell? Y'all on that dope. Man, y'all need to stop. What y'all be, I don't know what you do behind closed doors, but it ain't my business. But I'm just saying, keep it behind closed doors. You should be sober when you're handling this country's business. I would prefer, I got my preferences. Okay? So you have a country that's led by educated intellectual suits that's been taught how to think, what to think, have been fed a fucking system that's going back 100 years. They still trying to make this shit go in the face of the internet, in the face of the new technology that it's not that bird ain't gonna fly. They still acting like it's 1995 or some shit, or that they can contain a superpower. Nigga, you are listen, America is more isolated than fucking Russia ever was or ever will be. America don't got no friends. America don't have no allies. America have business partners. America has fucking trading partners. America has arrangements. No one that truly likes America, but fucking Americans and the people that sometimes first come over here, but they learn fast. They learn how to fit pretty fucking fast. They start to see where they fit sociologically. I'm trying to keep it clean. Okay? So, I say all this here to say this here. The Ukrainian war, no. The Ukrainian people and its resources will stop the dying and being used to fuck up for no reason. It's like they got bullets for days. I mean, wait a minute. I got ahead of myself. Think about this here. I make 65 mortar rounds a month. I can ship you 65 a month. And you shooting 40 a day. Sir. At some point, you're going to run into a fucking problem, man. I don't care how much money you got. How many bullets do you think I can make and build? You would shoot them off like they fucking $10 a piece. Each one of them bastards is $1,500, $5,000. Tomahawk cruise missile is $250,000 every time they push the fucking button, man. And that ain't even nukes. They fire them off of ships and from land. Every time they push that button, and they might fire a dozen of them motherfuckers. Okay? Bullets. You see? So how many bullets can I build and ship you and get my friends to build and then ship you without pissing off the bear, because the bear started to say, well, you know what, I would have been finished this slaughter. It became a slaughter because they kept giving them bullets. Okay? It's not our fault that this is still going on. Stop giving them bullets and they will stop dying. This is real simple math. This is real simple math, man. But that's not how the West sees it. NATO over there fucking praying, please, America, don't do nothing stupid and don't ask us to do anything stupid. After all, Russia is like right across the street. It's not, I mean, they have to come a whole ocean to man hit you. Well, they right across the street from us. And you asking us to man be co-signing bullshit, asking us to send the Ukrainians tanks, F-16s from different parts. Man, listen here, dude. What part of they live right across the street are you not hearing? You feel safe across that motherfucking ocean. Okay? Well, then you're going to have 53 minutes. We ain't going to have no minutes. You see what I'm saying? And you asking us because we signed some documents that said if any one of us go to war, all of us go to war. Nigga, that shit is outdated. Now, it may be usable and fucking preferential, but that shit is outdated. You need a new way of fucking thinking, man. I say this because of the internet. There's too many moving parts, and you can't keep the track of all your members and what they saying and who they talking to, who they lovers is, and who they talk to, man. It's just too fucking much. You need a new way of fucking thinking. Fuck that. Shit. That's too easy. To wind up in war. That is too easy. I gotta depend on my friends not to do stupid shit. Because no matter what they do, and they get fired on, then they done found them all of us. What the fuck? I didn't even hear the shot. I don't know what y'all talking about. Why you involving me? Well, because you said that it was one for all and all for one. Well, shit. I gotta go and talk to the people. Let me see if I can get us out this shit. Who signed this document? The last president. What the fuck? So we obligated to shoot back at people that ain't shot at us. You looking at shit the wrong way. That you might be right, but still. So they want us to shoot at people that ain't shot at us. They want to use our air bases to go farm people that ain't shot at us. They want us to give them some soldiers to go shoot at people that ain't shot at us. Am I correct? You know, like my math and my way of fucking thinking, but am I correct? Because I'm finna try to get the fuck us and the military up out of their war. We're gonna offer them resistance all up in the UN, international goddamn courtrooms. Nope, we gotta change your heart. We think that all this shit is stupid. And we starting to think that if we quick support you in the giving of the bullets, then the war will just go away since it's in our backyard. Again, you over here way across the water. They in our backyard fighting. Shit all the time. Our backyard ain't even our backyard anymore. We don't even use it. Shit. At any rate, this was over. This was over. On the world stage, the Western power, Western hegemony as we know it, is done. The extent of its reach into foreign lands is waning. It is over. Its ability to control the natural evolution of foreign lands is also over, in that the foreign lands will slowly rise up and they will, in all likelihood, create another economic monetary system which won't include dollar bills. I fully expect America to act as if that is an act of war. And at some point, They would call it something else, but they would find a reason to draw blood. And when they do it this time, it will be the end of them. America, as we see it, will change. Shit will be burning. Major cities will be hit with nuclear missiles, and so will other Western-oriented powers, as well as Russian cities. This seems to be in the making. All it takes is a roll of the dice, a little shove, a little push in the right direction, and they would be fighting at this level right now. But under the current administration, it's a slow motion boogie into a damn slaughterhouse because they can shoot bullets at Russia using Ukraine while Ukraine is over there screaming that we need this and we need this and we need more and we need this and we need more. But at some point, Ukraine has to ask for soldiers, foreign ones, as in American, British, French, at some point, because this is not a big country. No, there is a limit to how many casualties it can take on. And when they reach that limit, what happens then? They will ask the foreign powers, NATO, to send in or help them fight on the ground, meaning American boots on the ground, French and British and German boots on the ground. Folks, we are looking at the beginning stages of a possible World War fucking III. You see what I'm saying? So those of you who have shovels and land at the same time, you should start to dig in a hole. Those of you who don't, hey, we're gonna do what we can do to ward the missiles off away from our black ass. I'm sure the Russians understand that black folk ain't got shit to do with this. Shoot, if you must shoot those Americans, shoot them over there, and tell us where to go so you won't be shooting over there. Now that's gonna make them come and shoot us, but at least they'll be using handguns and rifles, not them big ass bullets that fly at at the speed of fucking sound and to blow up a whole city. We would rather face the bullets. At least it will be a fight, somewhat. But people, this is what it is. There's almost no way out of it. There's almost no way out of it. There's nothing on the horizon, and the only thing, man, listen here, I don't call the names of candidates and I mean get involved in politics in these commentaries for a reason, because they'll be used against my ass later. See, I can guarantee you that there's somebody somewhere recording this shit as I speak it. They have figured out a way, either by writing it down or having a stenographer as they hear it. Trust me, it's being done, and they're writing every motherfucking word. So one must be careful. If they'll think that I support this or him and I don't, or I might, or her and I don't and I might, and then shit gets all fucked up. You don't want to be a part of the storm. You want to stand on the outside of the storm and look at that motherfucker. Once you say certain shit, then you are in the storm. I do my damnedest to stay out of them. I try to stay out of them. Well, I had to get down and say it, else I was going to let it slip. So the African countries are, looking to Russia for help. Africa as a continent is looking to Russia for help. Who is Russia in the Bible? Who is Russia in the Bible? We in business. And with that,